Hello and welcome to a new season of Robin's Fanatics TV with me, AJ. And with the pre-season fixtures fast coming round, I thought now's the time to do a good pre-season vlog on about Carshalton Athletic in the upcoming season. So yeah, we'll finish on last season. Carshalton Athletic eventually finished mid-table 11th. You know, we had kind of hoped for better, but you know, we was in the playoffs for a brief spell, but we never really kind of kept the momentum going, and we sort of fell away near the end. Sort of the form fell off a cliff, and yeah, we ended up way outside the playoffs in the mid-table. But you know, like I said, we had hope for better. So yeah, that's how last season finished. So what's happened in the close season between then? Well, a lot has happened actually at Carshalton Athletic. A week after the season ended, Steve McKim was released from his job, mutual consent, by the owner. After, you know, just the one season, he kind of expected to be better, but he sort of wasn't happy, so he released him. So the hunt for the new manager, well, it came and went, and there's a song that comes to mind. What is that song? Oh yeah, it's The Who. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It's very apt because returning to Carshalton Athletic after a stint at Merstham, which saw them avoid relegation last season, is Peter Adeni. He's back at the Robins. So yeah, he's done you know, he's a year away. I think we're still involved with the club, but he had a year away. But yeah, after due diligence from the owner, he's returned to start his second spell as manager of Carshalton Athletic. So yeah, good luck to him. Yeah, pre-season. Yeah, in the pre-season signings, there's been obviously a big change around, as you'd expect from this situation. A lot of players, large majority of the players sort of left, but we have had signings come in and go. The players that we have retained from last season is Tommy Bradford, Bradley Williams, Tom Beer, Calvin Expetita, Curtis Cumberpatch and Paris Hamilton Downs. Yeah, he's returned after missing the season out through injury. Yeah, a lot of signings have come in as well. I think at the moment, I think we've got a squad of 15, and there may be more to come. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But the signings that the Robins have made is a Quade Taylor from Dulwich Hamlet, strong centre back. He spent many years at Dulwich, so that's a strengthening the defence. We welcome back 4 ex-players. First of all, a nice warm return to Luke Reed, who's back at the Robins after a year at Merstham. Yeah, and he finished the player of the season there, if I recall correctly. And yeah, he's joined Peter back at the Robins, and we're delighted to have him back because he was a very solid centre back when he was with us before. As is Sacco, he's a product of the academy, and he also had a season on the Peter Denny at Merstham. But he's also come back to the Robins. Good winger, can play on either wing and can deliver a really good ball and is really pacey. So that's good. Another returning player is Dan Bassett, who was Carshalton's top goal scorer the season before last, which is good. He re-signed from Quay Wanderers, which I think he finished their top goal scorer last season. But obviously the pull of Peter Adeni has had him back. So again, a proven goal scorer. Hopefully we can you know, he can do the job again like he did a couple of seasons ago for us. Another returning player, well, in a couple of seasons, as a sort of right back centre back called Kwaku Frimpong. Yes, you may have mentioned before, he was a professional at Wimbledon, and he was on loan for Carshalton for a couple of months. I think injury curtailed the loan, but he's been sort of floating about on loans to other clubs since then, and Wimbledon released him at the end of last season. So yeah, so Peter Denny was first to get him back for the Robins, so that's good. New players that have come in as Olawami Bunmi Bulaji, I will try and work on that name as the season goes on. But yeah, I think he's a centre back we've signed. I forget who we signed him from, but yeah, he was one of the first signings. We have a new goalkeeper, Will Haffer, signed from Herne Bay. He got relegated last season, but you know he's doing. He had a really good game against us actually. If I remember rightly, in the 3-2 win we sort of had over at their ground last season, I think he pulled off really good saves, and the game was closer than it should have been. Also signing is a Tom Haffrey. I think he's a midfielder, but I have to check on that. Yeah, we've signed him from Sittingbourne. And Herne Bay's top goal scorer last season with 16 goals, Marcel Barrington is also signed to play up front for the Robins this season. So yeah, we've got a squad of 15. Maybe there'll be more, I don't know. It's gone a bit quiet in recent weeks. I mean, there was a stage when there was sort of a load of signings, like about 4 in one day, you know. But yeah, so the squad's building up nicely. Yeah, so of course, like I said, a load of players have been released from the club. There's been a few. First of all, Danny Bracken was unfortunately let go of by Peter, which personally I think is a real shame. One of the top quality goalkeepers in the Australian League, and we've let him go. But it is what it is. Danny Bracken has now signed for South Park Reigate this week, so you know he'll do a good job for them down there. Other players that will go was Crossley Lima, who was I think our player of the season last year. He's moved up a division and he's now playing for Welling, signed for Welling, so that's good. Arthur Lee, a great strong centre back, was a bit injury prone but was good when he was playing. He's signed for Cray Valley, more on Cray Valley shortly. Then a couple of players have gone to Leatherhead under Hayden Bird, my old friend Hayden Bird. Yeah, he has signed Ollie Cook, who was a good centre back for the Robins, strong centre back for the Robins last season, and Gus So, who had a meh season for us really, which was a shame. He's a good player but didn't really show it last season. So yeah, they've both gone to Leatherhead to work to rejoin Hayden Bird. I'm sure he's been there, he's managed them before. Another player to make the move up a division is left back Leo Hamblin. He was a really good strong left back. He was moved to Weymouth. So again, you know, he'll do a good job there. And finally, Carshalton's goal scorer from last season, Femi Akinwande, has signed for Hastings United. Looking a bit strong this season. You know, with some signings they've made, it look like they could be up there or thereabouts. But talking of the Isthmian season, and well, first of all, I have a quick mention about Steve McKim. Like I say, he's got released about a week after the season ended last season. He's now the first team manager at Cray Valley Paper Mills, him and Barry Moore, so I wish him the best of luck over there and over in Cray, and I'm sure they'll do a really good job for them, and they'll be one of the strong teams in that southeastern Isthmian division next season, I think, with him in charge there. Yeah. As for teams, as for the league itself, obviously there's been quite a few changes with teams going up and going down. I said earlier, I mentioned on earlier, Bishop Stortford won the league as got promoted as champions, got promoted to the Conference North, which they're not too chuffed about, but like I said earlier, they're just on the cusp of the border of the South and North, and it's the luck of the draw, unfortunately. Averley, like I said, having got promotion from the Isthmian North the season before last, beat Hornchurch 1-0 in the playoff final to themselves get promoted to the Conference National South League. And they've got a nice ground, and the ground's probably already up to spec, so they'll be a good team there. I mean, I suspect they might do a Worthing actually. I think they might be going up there and sort of Worthing had their first season in that league and they did extremely well. So yeah, But Hornchurch will be absolutely miffed about that, because that's the third season in a row they've beat. I think they've reached playoff final 3 seasons in a row, and they've lost them all. So they're getting a bit hacked off with that, I think. More on sort of that a bit later. Teams that got relegated from the Isthmian Premier Division. 4 teams went down. Corinthian Casuals fell away. Herne Bay probably into the southeast after getting a promotion the previous season. Bowers and Pitsea and Brighton Sea Regent both got relegated to the Isthmian North. So that's 2 really long journeys less to do in the league this coming season, so you know, not too bad. I mean, Brighton Sea was a Tuesday night last season. There's no way, I don't think we had any fans there. It was a really tough one to do. But yeah, coming down to us from the National South is Cheshunt, who themselves got promoted there last season via the playoffs, but just lasted 1 season, come straight back down. Concord Rangers from Canvey Island. So we've got 2 trips to Canvey Island next season. That's nice. They come down after a few seasons up in the National South. And another team to come down is our old friends Dulwich Hamlet, and got relegated on the last day. I mean, mate Bob was not too happy with that, but they've been relegated to our league. So so it's Cheshunt, Concord, and Dulwich Hamlet. It's a nice local derby to come at some point in the season. Teams that got promoted from the league below. Hashtag United got promoted from the Isthmian North. Chatham Town from the Isthmian South East, and Whitehawk down near Brighton. It's been a few seasons since we've been there. They're down near Brighton. They also got promoted. So so that's quite a few new teams. Although the only one I've not been to is Hashtag United, but then I don't know where they play. They were playing at Bowers and Pitsea last season, but I think that's changed this season. I don't know, but they sort of float around a little bit. Cheshunt been there. Concord not for a few years. Dulwich gone quite a lot. Hashtag no. Chatham, well, I went there last season once for a game, a quarter-final League Cup game, which I wasn't going to mention it, but I'm going to mention it now. We put out on the 23 side and lost 5-0. And I think I was the only fan there on the wet, cold night in Chatham. So that wasn't enjoyable. But and Whitehawk I've been to as well. Quite a few years ago. I've been near Isthmian South Central for quite a few seasons now, but they've come up. So so that's the fixtures come out on this coming Friday, the 14th of July. But Carshalton's pre-season start on Tuesday. So I'll be looking forward to getting back to the old avenue, my second home. And our pre-season fixtures are as follows. Tuesday we're at home to Balham, who ground share with Croydon Athletic, and you know, if you look at my other vlogs, I've been there a few times and done some of their games on my non-league vlogs. Next Saturday we're at home to Rains Park Vow, who themselves are playing their first season in the Isthmian South. Away then the following Saturday away to Merstham, my adopted club Merstham. They avoided relegation in the playoff last season, and but this season, because of weight changes, they've got moved over to the South East League, because they were at Isthmian South Central last season, but this season they're playing their trade in the Isthmian South East. So my Bob will be going there quite a few times this season when I can as well. Then back to the friendlies. Leatherhead at home, Haydenburgh's Leatherhead, against probably several ex-Carshalton players of past and present, on Tuesday 25th, and Sevenoaks on Saturday 29th of July, my birthday. A nice trip to Sevenoaks, which will be a new ground, so look forward to that, you know. And our last friendly is at home to Bromley. Well, I think that might be in doubt. but I don't know. But yeah, that's probably our biggest game in the pre-season friendlies as far as it goes. But yeah, home to Bromley on the 5th of August. So yeah, as for my expectations for the season, well, it's going to be another season of rebuilding. I mean, we've lost a few players, but we've not lost as many. It wasn't like a whole squad like it was last season under Steve McKim's first tenure. And we've got the sort of the nucleus of last season's squad there, a few that have moved on. It's going to be tough. I mean, looking at the signings that we've made some good signings, but you know, I think we might just scrape a playoff place. But there's a lot of good teams this season that are throwing money at it. I mean, obviously we've got Dulwich Hamlet that have come down. With their support, they'll be vying to get straight back up. Hornchurch will be another one that will not want to go into the playoffs again. They won win the league outright. And Billericay, and I think Hastings, might be up there as well. All the usual, like Enfield Town probably, Folkestone maybe. I have to say, I think we'll be lucky if we reach the playoffs, to be fair. But I hope I'm wrong. If we do, great. I mean, I got over optimistic last season. I thought we'd win the league last season under Steve McKim, but it didn't turn out that way, unfortunately. But yeah, so I mean, as long as we have a good season, I don't think we're going to be relegation for that's for sure. But it's going to be tough. We've got some tough games sort of coming up in that league. Look forward to them when the fixtures come out on Friday. See who we got. Especially looking forward to the Dulwich Hamlet games. My mate Bob, who's a Dulwich Hamlet fan. Yeah, so if we can finish in a top 10, I think we'll be happy. Like I said, we've got Peter Denny, who's in charge. I don't know who his backroom staff is. Nothing's been announced on that. So I guess we'll find out on Tuesday now, first friendly. But yeah, so hopefully we'll have a good season. And with the new season comes a new kit as well. Thank God. I mean, I'm sorry, last season's home kit was awful. Personal opinion. Quite a lot of fans said that as well. It was awful. This was the away shirt. I quite like this. This was actually nice. So I thought I'll wear this one because this was actually a really nice away shirt. But the home shirt was awful. So, but I think we've got a new kit coming up for the new season. So we'll wait to see how that transpires. But let's face it can't be any worse than our kit last season. But we'll see on that. But yeah, looking forward to Tuesday. Looking forward to sort of seeing the lads again and getting together. Maybe have a drink or two. I'm working next day, so we'll have the drinks on Saturday when we play Rains Park. But yeah, just getting geared up now for the new season. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we can, have a good one, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, the Carshalton games, I'll be trying to do as many away games as I can. I'll be uploading vlogs, match highlights from away games. Home games will be just me in my outside studio or my inside studio, my spare bedroom. But that's, I'm only mention that once now, and that's it. It's done. It is what it is. But of course, you'll see me loads of times as well when I do my non-league ground hopping as well. Say ground hopping, local games, do some filming in there. And just on that subject, looking forward to sort of what this new season is going to bring for Croydon Athletic, because I'll tell you what, they've had a big change. Obviously Croydon Athletic is my local team where I live. Carshalton are obviously my proper team, but my local team is Croydon Athletic, AFC Croydon Athletic, and yeah, I've seen them many times last season. And but they've got some season coming up. I tell you, I mean, it's they've been brought over by a new consortium, which involves Stormzy and Wilfried Zaha, a part of a free men consortium that have taken over at the club. Doing their bit for I think that was ex Crystal Palace kit man. I can't remember his name. Sorry, but yeah. So I mean, they've been signing lots of players. Looking at their Twitter, And, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there this season. But yeah, looking forward to the season now. I've had a nice little break, you know, but raring to get back into it now and seeing what the new season unfolds. Well, it'll be Carshalton Athletic and with my various other clubs that I'll go and watch and vlog from. So yeah, that's it from me, AJ. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for sitting through this and my pre-season review of the upcoming season. Hopefully we'll return with some really good news, and I probably won't do the friendlies. I might do the friendlies in a batch. I'm not going to do one every friendly because there's not much happens in those, especially the early ones. But yeah, but I'll be back to full vlogs and video highlights from Carshalton Athletic away games and that upcoming season, and my various other non-league vlogs as well. So yes, I'm going to shut up now. But thank you for watching. Give us a like, and I want to wish all of you a really happy 2023-2024 season. Whatever team you support, I hope they do a good job for you, and hope they make your season good. And good luck to Peter and Denny at the Women's this season, and also all the players and Steve McKim who have left us and gone to other clubs. Good luck to all them this season as well. So yeah, that's it from me, AJ. Thank you for watching, and I will be back soon. So until then, see you later.